Hey fam. So today read Mark 9 and Luke 9. And so in these sections, Jesus is essentially preparing his disciples now for what's to come. So up to this point, he's been doing miracles and teaching in parables. And now he's still doing that, but now he's also telling the disciples, hey, I'm going to, he tells them that he's going to die and be raised again. And the disciples, they're still trying to figure all this out. When he tells them that, they're trying to figure out what that means. You know, is he talking in parables again? Is he talking literal? How do we take this? And so it's kind of funny to just kind of be, in the minds of the apostles, trying to just take all this in, just the complete change in their lives and following Jesus. And, and they're not really sure how all of this works. In fact, at one point they tell Jesus, hey, there's this guy casting out demons in your name. Should we stop him? And Jesus says no. In Mark, he kind of explains it more fully, but in Luke, he just tells them, hey, if they're not against us, then they're for us. But in Mark, he kind of explains a little more fully that this guy is, legitimately doing that in his name. So, I just imagine the disciples are just trying to figure all this out, just put it all together. And it comes down to just, again, simple yet fully in faith, right? Just simply believing for them Jesus's words and the scriptures. And for us, the scriptures, because God's not audibly talking with us and physically walking with us. So for us, it's fully trusting in the scriptures, whether or not it makes sense to us, and fully in, right? And so in both Mark 9 and Luke 9, Jesus tells them, essentially, this is an all-in proposition. In fact, if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out, because it's better to go into heaven with one eye, or if your hand and your foot, etc. It's an all-in proposition. And yet it's a simple faith proposition too. We also see in Mark 9 the story of the dad who brings his son to Jesus, who from a young age, maybe even birth, if I remember correctly, has been possessed by some sort of demon, and that throws him into fire and throws him into water and throws him into convulsions and foaming at the mouth and all of that. And he comes up to Jesus and says, Jesus, if you can, could you heal him? And Jesus' response to that always cracks me up. It's like, if I can, all things are possible, if you believe. And then that's when this dad just kind of clings to this young belief, this simple faith, and tells Jesus, I believe, help my unbelief. And I think that's, for me, the takeaways from this morning's reading is just like that dad, there are going to be things that we don't understand. We just need to believe. And when we don't understand, we ask God to help our unbelief. And then simultaneously, we have the commitment that we are all in. So those are the takeaways. Hopefully it's helpful for you today, and I will talk to you tomorrow.